you doing? My name is Christopher Brown. You're now listening to my podcast, Sports Talk with Chris. Now, 1 o'clock, Eagles and the Redskins. I know the Eagles have a lot of guys that are out right now. They do. O-line is a little banged up. We're missing a DN. Miles Sanders isn't playing, but let's be reasonable. This team has been to the playoffs the past 3 straight years. They're a veteran team with a veteran group, and they're still more talented than this Washington football team, even with the guys we are missing. Now, the biggest thing for the Washington football team, is can their D-line, make a statement this game. We have a lot of O-linemen hurt, from the Lane Johnsons to the Andre Dillards to the Brandon Brooks. So guys are going to be playing, especially on that right side, they're going to be playing more than they should be. This Washington football team, to me, has the second best D-line in the NFC East behind the Eagles. One of the best D-lines in the league, in my opinion, and getting Chase Young makes it even better. Can they be dominant against this weak Eagles offensive line? Because let's be real, with all the injuries we have right now, our offensive line looks weak. Can they be dominant? Can they go and get after Carson Wentz? That's going to be the deciding factor in this game, because we have all the weapons. We have Rager. We have Deshaun Jackson. We have Ward. We have J.J.R. Whiteside. We have Hightower. We have the 2 tight ends who are two of the top 10 tight ends in the league. Still have Boston Scott, Corey Clement. They can make a factor. And you look at the defensive side, man, I feel like we're going to hold our own. Even with Barnett being out, we still have a very good defensive line. And even with the D-tackle we got from Pittsburgh out, we still have a very good defensive line. Then you look at our corners, man. I said it a million times, and I'll say it again. The addition of Darius Slay and Coleman, I'm not afraid of no team. And with this Washington football team, they don't have a lot of weapons. So now that we got lockdown cornerbacks, we're going to be fine. Then we have 2 very good safeties. I think the Eagles are going to win this game. I want to say 31-14. Now, next we have the Dolphins and the Patriots. A lot of people might not agree with this, but I'm taking the Dolphins. I am. With the Patriots, the weapons to me can be a question mark. I love Cam Newton, don't get me wrong. I love him, but if they're planning to run him 100 times, I don't think that's going to work. I think he needs some good weapons in order to have a productive game. Then I look at the defense. Now, their passing defense, they have, some of the best D-back cores. You talking about Gilmore and McCourtney twins. Just those 3 guys alone is a top defensive back core in the league. But can that be enough? That front 7 is terrible. They're missing all their guys right now. Got about 6 starters on defense that opted out. That front 7 is bad. So for me, when I look at the Dolphins, I like the running back additions. I do. I like their offensive line. Don't think it's the best, but I think they can hold their own against this Patriots D-line. Then I like the quarterback. Ryan Fitzpatrick can win games. He's a proven winner. I like this Dolphins team. Then when I look at their defense, they improved. They got 2 very good cornerbacks in Howard and Byron Jones. They got Van Noy. They got Wilkins inside the D-line. They got some veterans on that defense. I'm taking the Dolphins to beat the Patriots in Week 1 at New England. Then you have Green Bay and Minnesota. I'm taking Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be a man on a mission this year, even with him having no weapons. If Devontae Adams can stay healthy this entire season, those 2 are going to do some special things. I think the running backs are going to have very good games and very good years. And all of this, it's going to start in Week 1. Can you dominate the Vikings? They are not the same team that they used to be. They have no corners. They have 2 very good safeties. This team is not the same team. Wide receivers is a question mark. You got Adam Thielen. You got Justin Jefferson. Can Justin Jefferson be that guy? Can he replace the production Stephon Diggs has? And against this very good, very, very good Packers defense, I don't think this is going to be the game he's going to go off. So I'm taking Packers in Week 1 at Minnesota. Indianapolis Colts and the Jaguars, this is easy. I'm taking the Colts. They're improving on all fronts. The Jaguars traded away all their players. They're not looking to win anything. They're probably trying to tank for Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. Chicago at Detroit. I'm taking Detroit. I am. I still like their defense. Even though they got rid of Slay, they have Trufant. I like their linebackers. I like the addition of Jamie Collins. I like their D-line. I love their offense. I mean, you got a tight end, receivers, a quarterback, and they have very good running backs. DeAndre Swift's going to do his thing. And then led by Matthew Stafford. This guy has arm talent. Way better than any quarterback on that Chicago Bears team, in my opinion. Look at the Chicago Bears team. It's just too many question marks for me. You have a very good year, especially on the defensive end, 2 years ago. and then you completely fold last year. It's just too many question marks. I don't like their offense at all. Question marks at quarterback, aka Mitchell Trubisky, should not be a starting quarterback in this league. Wide receivers, you have one, but can he really be a difference maker to win games? I don't think so. So I'm taking the Lions. Next, we have the Raiders at Carolina. I'm taking Carolina. I am. I like Teddy Bridgewater being there. They went and got another receiver for him, and you already had DJ Moore. You have McCaffrey. You went in and drafted a D-line and a D lineman in the first round. Can he be an impact? I think so against his Raider team. So I'm taking the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers. I apologize. Then the Buffalo Bills versus the Jets. This is easy. Buffalo. They were a playoff team last year, and all they did was improve their roster by getting a true number one wide receiver in Stephon Diggs. Their defense is very, very talented. Their offense is talented, too. I think Singletary is going to have a breakout year, in my opinion, being that main running back, and then you still went out and got a Zach Moss from Utah, so you're going to have a 1 and 2, running back duo that's going to be very, very good, taking Buffalo to destroy the Jets. Ravens and the Browns. I'm taking the Ravens, but with the Browns, I want to see some things out of them today, and that's going to help me judge their season. I know this is the first game. They haven't had a lot of practice, no preseason, no scrimmages against any other teams, but the intensity still has to be there. With Cleveland, I need to see the intensity, even if they lose, because they're not the favorite to win this game. Even if they lose, if they play with intensity, if they play with heart, they go out there and fight, then that's going to, prove a lot to me, and I'm going to be looking at them throughout the season saying, okay, maybe y'all can do something this year. But if they come out with no intensity, if they come out, lackadaisical, then it's going to be a rough season for them, especially going against this Baltimore Ravens team that went 14-2 last year, and all they did was improve their roster. Can they go 16-0? It all starts in week 1. Then you have the Seahawks and the Falcons. I'm going to Seahawks. They got Jamal Adams. Wide receivers healthy. This team was already a very good team last year. I looked at Falcons, though. It could be a really good game. Young defense. You went out and got a Ty Gurley. You got Hayden Hurst. Think they might be able to move the ball a little bit, but it's going to be a very good game. Still going with the Seahawks. Then you have the Chargers and the Bengals. Bengals are winning nothing this year. I'm taking the Chargers. Even without Derwin James, who's going to have a great year this year, I still like their defense. I still like their pass rush. The cornerbacks that they got, I'm taking the Chargers. Now, Cardinals and 49ers. This right here is going to surprise a lot of people, but I'm taking Arizona Cardinals. And let me tell you why. I don't think the 49ers are going to be able to put a lot of points on this board. They have a very good defense, yes, but you still sometimes have to score the ball. I think this Cardinals team is very explosive. And I know the 49ers, had the best pass D last year. But, man, you talking about 3 very good receivers. You talking about a passing offense that is going to go out there and sling the rock. Then you still have very good running backs. And then their defense only improved. Isaiah Simmons got him. Buda Baker. Patrick Peterson, Jordan Hicks, Chandler Jones. Then you went out in free agency and signed some guys to play, some key roles, some rotators that can do some very good things for this Cardinals team. I'm taking the Cardinals over 49ers. When I look at their offense, they got a very good O-line. You got the running game. You have a George Kittle, then who else? Debo's not playing, and that young wide receiver is questionable. I don't think he's going to have a good enough game, especially if Pat Pete might be guarding him. I don't think he's going to do anything. I'm taking the Cardinals. Then you have the Buccaneers and the Saints. I'm taking the Bucs, even without Mike Evans. Feel like Tom Brady. I feel like the 2 tight ends, you give him a running back. That's a very good defensive team already with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they're going to shack a lot of people and get the victory at New Orleans. Yes, I said it, at New Orleans. Then the last game, you have the Cowboys at Los Angeles. This is tough. Everybody knows when you watch my show, I'm unbiased. I spit nothing but facts and stats. I'm going to go with the Cowboys. I am. I just don't think this Rams team, I think it can go either way. But the way I'm looking at it right now, I just don't know if this Rams team is talented enough. Yeah, you have Jalen Ramsey. Then who else is going to be able to cover out there? I know the Eagles are the better team than the Cowboys, but right now this is not between them two. For all my Eagles fans out there saying, how can you pick the Cowboys? I mean, let's just be real. They do have a very good receiving core. They do have a very good running back. They do have a decent D line. They have a good front 7, no back 4. So maybe that can come to haunt them against this Los Angeles Rams team. But I think it's going to be a close game. If I had to pick the score, I would say 2014 Dallas. Now Monday, you have the Steelers at the Giants. The Steelers are going to completely destroy them. We don't even got to get into it. Then you have the Titans at Denver. This is tough because I like both teams. I feel like both teams are going to surprise a lot of people going into the year. I think without Von Miller, that's going to hurt the Denver Broncos a lot. But having Bradley Chubb, if he can be fully healthy and dominant like he was in his rookie season, you have a guy that's going to get you, I think, 12 to 14 sacks this year. But with that being said, week one, I'm gonna go with Tennessee. I'm gonna go with Tennessee just because those group of guys are returning this year that they had last year, and all they did was just add Jadavion, Vic Beasley, and now their team has no holes in their roster, especially with all the starters. When I look at Denver, they're young. I like them a lot. I do think they have a chance to get in the wild card, but they're young. Missing Von Miller, you add a lot of pieces. Can they get it together for week one? It's going to be a question mark. I think it's going to be a very good game. Don't get me wrong. Score 17-14 Titans.